Hey guys, welcome back to Baddie and a Book. My name is Gabby, and y'all, I read an entire book for this video and then realized that I never filmed the intro portion of this video. So, a while back, I want to say it was like a couple months ago, Taya's Turning Pages posted this on her Instagram story, and I thought, how fun would it be, because I haven't read any of these books that she mentioned here on the story. So I thought it would be so fun to film me reading all of her favorite couples. So for this video, we're going to be reading all of Taya's favorite couples that she mentioned, or not all of them, but a few from this list, because as we know, I am on a book buying ban. So I didn't go out and buy any of the books. I luckily had a few of the books already on my TBR and on my bookshelf. So we started off this video by reading It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I'm not going to mention anything right now. You'll just have to stay tuned and watch to find out what my thoughts were of this book. And then the second book that I wanted to pick up from this list was Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. I just got done reading Before I Let Go, so I thought this was a perfect segue into this book because I've been wanting to read another Kennedy Ryan book. And then the last one is Beach Read by Emily Henry. So these are the three books that we have selected for this video. Let's go and get started. So far, I'm about 5 chapters in, and I'm loving this book so far. I know it's like too soon to say anything because I've only read 5 chapters. I'm only about to read the 5th chapter, but my first thought immediately was like, I really liked Piper. Like, I don't know what it is, but I really like her. She's really intriguing. I love reading about her. I love reading her perspective, and I love the rich girl, spoiled rich kid vibe that I get from her. I'm loving that so far. And I'm wondering, I got done reading Forever and Ever, so I'm wondering if Brendan in this book is going to be giving Brick Callan vibes, and if so, I already know I'm going to love it. He kind of sort of is giving that grumpy vibe, that grumpiness that Brick Callan had, kind of sort of, but we'll see. Brick Callan is my favorite hands down hero that I've read about in a book so far, like top notch, like up there. So this being comparable to him, will Brendan be up to par with Brick Callan? I guess we will find out. Okay, so we are officially at the 50% mark. I'm on chapter 17 now, and this book is so good. It is so good so far. I am so enjoying it so far. It's amazing so far. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say for right now, but I thought I would check in since I am at about the 50% mark. So yeah. All right, so check-in number 2. We are at chapter 23, so we have less than 10 chapters to finish the book. I'm on page 283, and there's about 400 pages in this book. So I'm really enjoying it again so far. I would say so far, unless my opinion changes by the last 100 pages, Brendan is like a strong second place to Brick. I don't think he compares as much to Brick. I might be a little biased by saying that, but I think he comes in as a strong second. They're both very similar characters. So if you liked Forever and Ever, you would like this book, and then vice versa. If you like this book, then you would probably like Forever and Ever. If you like this book specifically because of Brendan, then you're gonna like Forever and Ever because of Brick. And the thing is that they're both small town romances. I'm starting to think that maybe I need to go to a small town to find my husband, because all the men that are, or at least so far that I've read on, that are top tier, chef's kiss, all of the above, have been from small town romances. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock out this last little bit, and then we'll work on the next book. Okay, so I am about 6 chapters in of this book. wanted to give my first immediate thoughts on this book. I'm really liking it so far. I'm flying through it unexpectedly. I really love, first of all, this cover, and then I also love that at every chapter it looks like this. Like, I don't know, I just really love these illustrated versions that are being republished for books that have been out, because as you guys know, this is like the illustrated version, the illustrated new edition, special edition of this series. And it's becoming more and more of a trend for us to see books with really beautiful illustrated covers, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm here for it. I'm really happy that this is where the direction of covers are going for books. I'm really, really loving it. I really like August. Really enjoy his character. I'm really enjoying getting to know a little bit more about his character, so I'm really excited about that. It's kind of like giving forbidden romance, and it is dual POV, so every chapter we do go back and forth between Iris and August, which I think is beautiful. I love dual POV. It is my absolute favorite. Okay, so quick update on Longshot. It's really, really good so far. I will say that there have been some parts that have been a little hard for me to read. Definitely check the trigger warnings on this book. The good thing is that you don't really have to search too much, because there is a content warning on the first page before you even get to the story. So I really like that Kennedy Ryan does that. I'm about 50% of the way through. Almost, not quite. Almost about 60% or 50% of the way through. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm very curious to see how this plays out. I would say even at about 50% of the way through, we haven't really fully seen their relationship progress or develop. So I'm really excited to see that at some point in the story. I assume that they will. So far I have no comments on their relationship because it's still pretty much non-existent at this point, but I will check back in when things start to change, or once I have an update. So yeah, that's where we're currently at. I don't even want to read more. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad I read this book first, and the last book that I'm gonna be reading is gonna be Beach Read, because I'm gonna need a lighthearted read after this. I got through reading the hard part from what I'm hoping, because it was really hard for me to fucking read a certain portion of this book. So definitely check out the trigger warnings on this one, because man, that was fucking hard as hell to read. I've never read a book so far, or haven't read a book so far, where it details out some of the triggers. And not to say that I get triggered very easily or anything like that. I've never had that experience before. So yeah, definitely check out the trigger warnings on this one. This was a rough one to read. I think at this point I'm past the difficult part, and I think it's gonna be easy breezy reading from now going forward. I've got about 15 chapters left, so we're definitely working our way through it. Yeah, this was just a really hard one to read, especially in the middle there, but we're still pushing along. I still want to finish this one. I'm actually really anticipating the ending, and wanting and hoping and praying that it ends on a positive note and a happy note, happily ever after type of vibe. And I'm really glad that afterwards I decided to read Beach Read, just to give myself something a little more lighthearted to read. Okay, so I just finished reading Long Shot, and this book was intense, to say the least. I'm gonna let my thoughts kind of simmer and marinate and kind of sit with them for a little bit. In the meantime, we are going to start the last book in this vlog, which is Beach Read, and I'm so excited for this one. Again, this one is supposed to be a lighthearted read, an easygoing read. I've heard really great things about Beach Read. Okay, so I am 4 chapters into Beach Read, and I don't know if it's just because I've been reading all day or what, but I'm really bored. The first 4 chapters are kind of boring. I'm hoping it'll pick up soon. It's only 30 pages in, but yeah, so far kind of bored. Probably gonna go to bed soon. I'm debating whether or not I want to finish another chapter and then come back to this tomorrow. But yeah, that's my first update for this book. Okay, so it's the next day. I'm gonna continue where I left off from last night. Last status was that I was a little bored, so I'm hoping that it'll pick up a little bit. It's only 4 chapters in though, so I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so I am on chapter 9, and it's starting to pick up now. So hopefully it'll be smooth sailing from here. Yeah, it's starting to pick up. Y'all, it's a pizza kind of night. So while I'm waiting for my pizza, we gonna read a little bit. Since I got this book to finish, right now checking in, I am on the 11th chapter. Last time we checked in, it was starting to pick up a little bit. So still picking up a little bit. We're still kind of in the beginning, but it was starting to become enjoyable. I've had like 25 minutes until my pizza's ready, so we just gonna get right onto it. Another random fucking thought. I really want some pizza. Like, this pizza's about to be good. It's just Little Caesars. Like, I just went and got something super quick. Probably should have gotten like Papa John's or something if I was gonna do like the chains or whatever, but this pizza is about to be so damn good. Like, I've been wanting pizza. I've been eating good all week, so this is kind of like my pick up and go cheat meal, I guess, so to speak. But 25 minutes? I thought those pizzas were supposed to be hot and ready. Hot and ready. What happened to that? Caesars? I'm gonna need y'all to get it together, because I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. Now. Right about now. Talk about the books and the couples that I read in this vlog. Okay, so we're going to talk about this in like kind of 2 parts for each book. So for each book, I'm going to talk about my feelings about the book itself, and then I'm going to talk about the actual couples in the books, because that's why we created this vlog. So first, It Happened One Summer by Tessa motherfucking Bailey. This book was so good, and surprisingly, I loved it way more than I thought I was gonna love it. For a character that I'm not really like relatable to, like I don't find her to be relatable to me personally, right? But I really loved this heroine in this book. I loved the main character. She was so fun to read about. Tessa Bailey did such a great job of kind of showing you all aspects of like her character, the character building and all of that. I think that was done extremely fucking well. We only get her perspective, so this one isn't dual POV, but I still thoroughly loved it. This book was a 5-star rating for me. They're just going over like a few things that are like kind of mentioned, or like things that are in this book. It is a small town romance. I'm starting to think that I love small town romances. And then there is also a little bit of grieving. You see relationships with sisters. There is a lot to do with like water and fishermen. So if you like fishermen, you'll like this book. It takes place in kind of in LA, but also kind of in a small town in Washington. I'm pretty sure they're in Washington. Don't quote me on that. I'm almost positive it's like Washington. There's also components of an Insta famous girl, and like that Hollywood lifestyle, that Instagram baddie, not really baddie, but like that Instagram famous girl with millions of followers and stuff like that, which I thought was such an interesting component. Still not used to like, I know like we're in a digital world now, but like it's still so interesting to me to read books that have those types of components in the books, those types of like details in the book. So I thought that was an interesting touch. This book was so damn fun. It's giving kind of Pride and Prejudice. So if you ever seen that movie, and I'll put like a little clip of it here, but if you ever seen that movie Pride and Prejudice, that's exactly what this is giving. It's exactly what the fuck this is giving, with a slight spin, with a slight difference in it. It's not exactly like that movie, but it is in that same category. I loved the way that she grew in this book. And like I said, typically I just wasn't expecting to like this book that much, because it was like a rich girl, me reading about a rich girl, but I really loved reading about her character, reading about her thoughts, reading about her experiences, and also her love with Brendan, which brings me into and segues perfectly into talking about their relationship and what I feel about their relationship. So I loved this couple. I loved this couple. I loved how they started, their banter. I loved the tension that was there for so long, and then, you know, them finally getting together. There was just so many cute, really cute things. As y'all know, I love a protective hero. I just loved so much about this book. You just gotta read it. Then we read Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. I loved this book. I'm still waiting on that one particular book to blow my mind from Kennedy Ryan. And I have a feeling it's gonna be another book in this series, because I really loved this book. I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was really good. It wasn't quite a 5 for me, but it was still a 4.5. Like, it was still really enjoyable. I will say you can either check out the trigger warnings or just read the author's note in the first page before the story starts, because it does get really fucking heavy. I really loved both characters. This is a dual POV. It is kind of a second chance romance. Kind of. It's giving a little bit of second chance romance, but also kind of love at first sight. This one, of course, as you know, with this particular series, there is NBA players. So the main character, the guy, is an NBA player, and so you kind of get those components. You get the basketball wives vibes from here. I loved that there was a heavy Baltimore scene, or Baltimore was really heavily like in this book. August, he's actually from Baltimore, which I really loved. And I really enjoyed this book. I would definitely recommend it. It's such a good book. I'm really excited to pick up the next one eventually. I'm probably gonna wait a little bit, because like I said, this one was very heavy. I will say that the way that Kennedy Ryan wrote a few scenes in this book, it was like you were literally right there with the character that was involved in that traumatic event. So it was very hard to read at some points. I had to like stop midway in some points. But if you can handle it, this is a really good book. If you can get past that, then this is a really good book. Just really check on those trigger warnings. As far as them as a couple, so I really liked them as a couple. Maybe not as much as I liked Brendan and Piper. Maybe not as much. I think maybe this would be like in second place in comparison to the first book. I started off really strong. Maybe if I had read It Happened One Summer at the end, maybe I would feel a little bit different, but it was already a strong 5-star read for me. And I really like I said, I didn't necessarily relate to the character, or to the woman character, but I loved reading about them. But I really really loved their relationship. I will say that in this book, we didn't really get as much, like we didn't get to see as much of the relationship. Like the majority of the book is, how do I say this? A majority of the book is kind of addressing other things. So this particular book, the romance wasn't nearly as heavy. Like the romance plot wasn't nearly as heavy or like a main thing in this one as it was in It Happened One Summer. But I really love their relationship. Really cute couple. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this one. And then lastly, we have Beach Read. So this book was kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie, it was just okay. There wasn't anything special about this book. Like, I was fighting through the trenches to finish this book, and it was just because, like, and I don't know if it was because I had done so much reading, and I don't necessarily want to blame it on that because I'm not in a reading slump or anything, but it just wasn't giving for me. It was just okay. Strong 3-star. Like, it wasn't bad, like in terms of like I just wanted to DNF it, but I don't know. It wasn't giving. It wasn't giving what I thought it was going to give. I'm a little disappointed about this one simply because it was so hyped up on BookTube and BookTok. And Emily Henry as a whole is really raved about. I will say that if you are a person that doesn't really like spice that much, this is definitely a good option because the spice was only like a 2 out of 5. Like, it wasn't even really spicy, to be honest. And I just didn't care. And I hate to say that, but I just did not give a shit about the storyline. I did not care about the characters really that much. I definitely didn't relate or connect to any of the characters. And I don't know. It wasn't giving for me. 3 stars. I finished it this morning, and I will say that the best part of the book for me was like the last, like, not the very last chapter, because the very last chapter I was like, okay, like let's just get it done over with, but like the last, like chapters 24 through 27 were like the best in terms of like keeping me interested. But strong 3 stars. Nothing crazy about it. Do I recommend it? Maybe, but not really, because it was just, I was bored. I was really bored, really excited to pick up another book. I really just wanted to get through it, and it just, yeah, that's really all that I have to say about that. The couple, I do really like the couple. Like I said, they weren't anything special to me. They weren't anything that I will remember, really. They're not memorable. I really liked the dynamic that they had with each other. I liked that they connected through writing. I thought that that was very interesting. And I also liked their history, is the best way for me to put it without spoiling it, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I guess I could potentially, because I think everybody has read this book already. But just in case, I'm not going to say, but I liked the history. But again, I just really didn't care. I just really did not care. So of the 3 couples, my favorite, it has to be Brendan and Piper. Then it goes to Iris and August. I liked them. They were really freaking cute together. I liked how they complimented each other. I liked that he gave her a safe space and vice versa. So really love that. And then last place would be Gus, another August, but Gus and January. You know, they were cool. They were cool peeps, but they just, it didn't give. It didn't give. So yeah, those are all of the books that I read for this vlog, reading Taya's favorite couples. I'm really happy with the outcome, and I'm glad that I found another 5-star read that I can add to my 5-star reads. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.